News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
The University of Montana Police Department gets a clean bill of health from the Department of Justice. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It is Monday, July 13th, 2015. The sky is cloudy. We have 57 degrees in Missoula. Thanks for joining us. Our newscast this morning sponsored by Kootenai Creek Village, the maintenance-free active adult community in Stevensville. For your appointment, call 777-5387. U.S. Attorney Michael Cotter announced Friday at the U of M Law School that the University of Montana Police Department had fully implemented the agreement to improve its response to reports of sexual assault. KGVO News spoke with Anita Gupta, head of the DOJ Civil Rights Division from Washington, about what brought Missoula to the department's attention in the first place.
We had a lot of concern about what was happening once those complaints were being made, both in terms of we ended up looking at the response by the Missoula Police Department, the University of Montana County Attorney's Office, and by the University of Montana's Police Department.
Gupta praised the UM Police Department and the community in general for its overall response.
Today's announcement really is an announcement about the powerful changes that have been made by the University of Montana Police Department and in the law enforcement, the university, and the community's coordinated response to sexual assault.
UM President Royce Engstrom reiterated his priorities in regards to sexual assaults on the UM campus.
For these last several years, I've emphasized three goals for the University of Montana regarding sexual assault. 1, to care for survivors of sexual assault. 2, to use due process to remove proven offenders from our campus. And 3, to prevent sexual assault from happening in the first place.
Gupta said the Missoula County Attorney's Office is on track to achieve full compliance as well. Superior resident and chief of the Superior Volunteer Fire Department, Richard Miller, made his initial appearance in court Friday at the Mineral County Courthouse on charges of sexual abuse of children and multiple counts of tampering with evidence. The Clark Fork Valley Express reports that, according to an affidavit from the Justice Court of Mineral County, the arrest stems from an investigation that began June 29th after the Missoula Police Department Internet Crimes Against Children Detective Chris Shermer received multiple tips from the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children regarding child pornography. Miller's next scheduled court appearance is July 22nd. Missoula area first responders are there immediately whenever there's a call for help. These highly trained professionals put their lives in danger to provide this service. But when the call turns out to be false, it can not only be frustrating but expensive. Last week, a young woman was tubing with friends down the Clark Fork River and became separated. Her friends contacted 911 and a search was immediately initiated. Missoula City Police Detective Sergeant Jim Clowder detailed the police response.
At any given time, anywhere between 5 and 10 officers involved with this. I know they called in the day shift early to help cover while the late night guys were out searching. So I can tell you it cost us a lot of time, 5 to 10 officers for multiple hours.
The Missoula Fire Department responded with several engines and boats in the water for about 6 hours before it was discovered the missing woman was actually safe in her apartment. Chief Jason Deal was careful to point out the difference between an unnecessary search and a false call.
It is a concern if we do get a false call and we spend a lot of resources and time searching for something, and then if we have an actual emergency come in, the cost to the community is either a delayed response or we have fewer resources.
Also called in to assist in the search was the MedStar helicopter. At a previous interview with the Life Flight staff, the predecessor to MedStar, KGVO News learned that every time the specially equipped rescue helicopter lifts off to respond to an emergency, the cost can start at between $5,000 to $10,000. Human remains have been found in a Helena area home that burned to the ground this past week. Lewis and Clark County Coroner Mickey Nelson confirmed Saturday that some human remains were found in the debris. Nelson told the Independent Record newspaper that the person's identity has not yet been established. Undersheriff Dave Rouse said police were called Thursday by a man who said he was in the residence and intended to put a propane tank in the oven and kill himself. Nelson said the propane tank did not blow up. It appears the man instead set several rooms on fire. Missoula's been extremely dry for weeks, causing numerous warnings and restrictions, but the area received some welcome rain Saturday and early Sunday. In fact, a record amount. Meteorologist with the National Weather Service office in Missoula, Bob Nestor, said Missoula broke a record that's been standing for 100 years or more.
We had 81 100ths of an inch of precipitation on July 11th, and that broke a daily rainfall record that was set back in 1893, which that's as far back as records go in Missoula. And the rain they had that day was 6,500, so we beat it pretty good.
Nestor said a good portion of western Montana also benefited from Saturday's rain, and that Superior had close to 2 inches.
We had just a good band of steady rain through much of the morning and mid-afternoon hours. From about Lowell through the Mission Valley was the area of most precipitation. Plains had 1.32 inches, and Missoula, like I said, 97 hundredths from the night of the 10th through the 11th.
Even with the day of heavy rain, Missoula remains under Stage 1 fire restrictions. That is still under extreme fire danger. The Washington State Department of Transportation says crews are searching for a small private plane that didn't reach its destination in Lyndon, Washington, Saturday. The plane carrying 3 people, including the pilot, left western Montana about 4 p.m. Saturday and was due in Lyndon around 7 p.m. The plane did not arrive, and family members notified authorities. All 3 occupants are family members. Their names have not yet been released. The plane is described as a white and red Beech 35 aircraft. Well, the crowd squeezing together Saturday morning under the awnings near the Wilma Theater attempted to stay out of the rain just prior to the 5K portion of the Missoula Marathon weekend. Race organizer with Run Wild Missoula, Anders Brooker, told KGVO News he was pleased with the steady rain that was falling in downtown Missoula.
It's a beautiful morning. This is our first year of rain. Everybody was worried about heat. Now we got rain, so we'll take it. You know what? The key's being positive and having fun. It could be 100 degrees out. Instead, it's 75 and cool.
Brooker said thousands were participating through the weekend of running.
You know, we're going to have around 7,000 folks throughout the whole weekend. We had a great beer run last night with 400 to 500 people, 1,200 people in the 5K, and then the full and the half are going to be loaded again this year.
The half marathon was capped at 4,000 runners. The 5K featured 1,200, and the marathon was capped at 1,750. In 2010, the Missoula Marathon won the Best Marathon in the United States award by Runner's World magazine. We'll have more on the marathon and the winners with sports in just a moment. News Talk time now is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Look for a mix of sun and clouds today with a threat of showers and thunderstorms. Highs will top out right around 80 degrees. A chance of showers and thunderstorms early this evening, lows dropping into the mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster from Missoula's KECI 13.